Hi, my name is DJ. Thank you for joining me for this video or audio, whichever way you're listening to this. And I'm an eBay reseller. I sell things I find at thrift stores and garage sales, and then I put them on eBay and resell them. And so this is my weekly update about how my eBay startup is going. I recently went from being a part-time hobby seller to a full-time eBay seller as a career. And so this is my journey, my story of how it's going. So this is more like a documentary, and so thank you for joining me. And I'm outside today because I just needed some fresh air. The eBay business has been going for a month now. This is the last week of March, and I started roughly the first week of March. And so I had to come out, get some fresh air. If you saw my morning routine video or audio, then you know that I go for a walk every morning. So I just got done with my walk. And I was going to record this earlier, but I decided to do some numbers to crunch the numbers to see how things were going this month. And after doing the numbers, I immediately felt discouraged. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, this is what these videos and audios are all about. And so in the last week, I sold 27 items on eBay, and that's with a listing about 316 listings up on eBay. I went from about 220. I'm up to, at the beginning of March, I'm up to 316 last week, and today, as of today, I'm up to 344 listings. So from 1 week, that's 28 listings, and part of the issue is really trying to get my employees to work. Trying to make sure they're listing their right now 10-a-day quota. And it's also ultimately up to me. I have to hustle and get more listings done. And right now I'm spending quite a bit of time out getting stuff, outsourcing. And so getting these listings up needs to become more of our priority. I'd like to, by the end of, hopefully by the end of the week, Sunday, to have close to 400 listings. My goal right now is to try to get up to 500 listings. And so in the next 2 weeks or so, I should be up to 500 listings. And so last week I sold 27 items, and the total sales were $869.70. And the total profit was $443. That's money after all the fees and things are taken out. That's not the total profit, because what I'm doing right now is taking that money and reinvesting it into the business. So there's, ultimately, I'm making ends meet. Things I'm spending personally right now are coming out of that profit, coming out of the money that I'm making. And it's just where my living standard is right now, and so I'm making ends meet, and so there's no money being put into a savings account right now. It's all going back into the business. Now, the reason why it was discouraging for me was because the week before I sold 26 items. That's one less, and so my inventory went up 28 items. And I sold one more item than I did the week before. My total sales were about $200 more. Maybe even $300. Is that right? No, $200 more. I sold $1,154 worth of sales and made $557 profit. So I actually made about $100 more profit the week before than this week. And so the reason why I guess it was discouraging is because you're expecting this upward trend to take place in your sales, but I had to go take a walk and rethink things. The week before, I made $434 profit. and $786 in sales. And so that's only $10 less than this week. And then the week before that, I made $581 profit and had $1,000 in sales, and sold the same number of items I sold this week. And so I know there's a lot of factors involved. And so I was a little bit disappointed that the sales this week the profit this week was less than the week before. And I had to go take a walk and think about it. And some of the things that happened that made this profit jump up was I sold some big profit items, like some huge money items. I sold a pair of Red Wing boots that I bought at a thrift store. I bought them for like $9 and sold them for $120. In the first week I was here, I sourced some Mark Nason rock and roll boots, found them for $9, and I sold them for about $100. And there were some other bigger sales that just happened to sell the week before. And so I know that right now on auction I have a $250 sale that's going to come, and so my sales will be higher hopefully for the next week. And so what it taught me was that when you're doing this eBay business, is that you can't take 1 week over another unless you're growing. You're doing a super amount of inventory increase. It all depends on the items that you're selling. It's nothing is set in stone. There's so many factors involved in selling on eBay. One, the buyer has to want and desire your items. Two, they have to find them on eBay. So, that's important for the seller to know, because you want to get your items ranked higher. That may mean offering free shipping. That might mean guaranteeing same-day delivery. There's a lot of factors that are involved there. It may mean lowering your prices for your items, doing a promotion or sale so that those listings get higher, and the people that are designing your item will see your item first. And so you can't, it taught me that I can't get caught up in these week-to-week numbers, and you can't be discouraged, because there is a trend, there is an average week-to-week. So when I averaged out the month of March, it came out to about $500 a week, and that's profit. So $500 a week profit for having an inventory of about 344 items. And so what does this mean? Well, the average per week is pretty consistent. There's no major ups and downs profit. There is some little jumps, but it averages out close to it's $500 per week for the month of March. That is, for a fact, more than the month of February. And I am for sure selling more items. I am for sure making more money this month. And it's only the first month. So I would expect to see at the end of April these numbers increase. But one of the things that I've really had to focus on is not to be discouraged. This is why it's important to go take walks and get your mind focused right, because there's a lot of pressures that are taking place that would want you to get discouraged, and there's a voice in the back of my head that says, DJ, you should just quit this and go get another job. Now, that's a separate topic. So along those lines about getting another job, there's some situations taking place in my life, and everyone has life situations take place. Life is certainly difficult, and it has nothing to do with eBay, the eBay business. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a possibility I might have to get another job. The goal here was to do eBay full-time as a career. but because of other life situations that have nothing to do with sales or eBay or the money I'm making, I might have to get another job. And I don't know if that's a full-time job yet or a part-time job. And I'm waiting to hear back and to find out what that looks like. Again, nothing to do with eBay. If this life situation wasn't occurring, there wouldn't be any any huge need to get another job. And so that's something that might happen, that it might affect the way that I'm running my business right now. And I'll keep you updated on that. But that's life, right? Life happens, and sometimes you need to make adjustments to our goals. And so my goal of having a full-time eBay career right now might just be placed on hold, and I'll find out more in the next day or two. This week in my eBay business, I've had to upgrade into the next subscription. I had a basic subscription, and that allows you to have 250 items every month for free. I'm now at the point where I went up a subscription to premium, and that allows you to have up to 1,000 items per month free. It's not really free, you're paying the subscription, but that's the way at least it looks when you do the subscription. I decided to go ahead and upgrade. I know last week I talked about possibly doing that because I noticed that my fees were the 20-cent fees per listing were adding up, and it got to the point where it almost made sense to upgrade. I was almost to it was an extra $20 of 20-cent fees that I was listing. And so I decided to go ahead and upgrade now, and also because March is almost over, and with this subscription, the premium subscription, you get $25 more to spend on eBay supplies. And so with the basic, you get $25 to spend on eBay supplies. With the premium, you get $50. And so it doubles the amount I can spend on eBay supplies. And so I'm paying, I think it's like $59 a month for premium. I could be wrong. It might be $79. I didn't look that up before doing this. But anyway, when you're making it back almost in the free supplies you're getting from eBay, and I can always use those supplies. The other thing is that the end of March is also the end of quarter, so I'm going to have to pay sales tax for the first time. And fortunately, the sales tax isn't that much for what I've sold so far. So it's only about, I believe, $6 that I have to pay. And so I will have to pay sales tax. I got a letter from the comptroller's office in Texas where I've filed my business, and they sent me a letter, a form to fill out for submitting my sales tax. I can also submit it online. And so, that's part of doing business. You pay sales tax. I charge sales tax to my customers if they live in Texas, and so now I got to hand that money over at the end of the quarter. And so, trying to think if there's any other updates. I've taken the last 2 days off sourcing because I do have some backup on inventory that needs to get online. And so yesterday and today, I'm staying home to focus on getting those items listed. I need to list more. I need to get my employee to list more, and so I'm staying out of sourcing for today. One of the other things I've noticed is that garage selling seems to be the highest profit margin on items that I'm sourcing. And so I do want to spend, these birds are really loud. I do want to spend more money on sourcing from garage sales rather than thrift stores. And so, taking 2 days off, I roughly spend about $100 a day on sourcing. And so, that would help, with some of the profitability, and also allow me some extra money to go garage selling on Saturday. And so I tend to go to, I'm going to go to garage sales more often and spend more time sourcing at garage sales. So, hearing my numbers, I wanted to just talk a moment about what I'm learning from this. What I'm learning from the numbers from my first month in the business. And I think what I'm learning is that we have to keep moving forward in the face of discouragement. There's some life situations taking place that where I might have to get another job, and so that's discouraging because if I work another job, it's going to affect the growth of my eBay business. The numbers can be a little bit discouraging, but it goes up and down every week. It's up and it's down. It depends on what you find. If you find some high profit margin items, then when those items sell, it's going to be a boost to those sales. Now, they don't happen every day, but in order to find those high profit items, you have to be out looking for them. And so in a way, there is a sense of good luck in finding those items, but there's also a sense that you have to work for those items, because if you aren't out searching for them, if you are not sourcing, if you're not taking the time to go to thrift stores and garage sales, then there's no way you're going to find those items. Those items are out there. I mean, we live in a country that just gives away or throws away, items, that possessions that people have, and we live in a country of abundance. So there's tons of stuff out there. It's there. I've seen it, I found it, but unless we're outsourcing, we're not going to find those items. And so the lesson for me, I think, this week is not to be discouraged. We have to continue working through it. The more items we list, the more sales we should get. Now, right now, I have probably 40 items that need to be listed on eBay. And that would get me really close to 400 items in my inventory. But I'm not going to sell those if they're just sitting on my floor or in my closet waiting to be listed. And so I need to take some time to list myself to help boost the listings. I can't rely on my employee to do that by himself. And then, I need to encourage him to continue selling and continue pressing on. I think that's the important thing. If we want our businesses to succeed, we have to continue pressing on. We can't allow discouragements to knock us off. We might have to make adjustments in our strategy, and that's okay. But that's part of doing a business. A second thing I've learned this week is really focusing on pace. Those birds are really loud. I hope you can hear me. So it's beautiful out here. It just stormed last night, and the birds are out, and so just enjoying the outdoors a little bit is helping with my thinking. So the other lesson is about pace. We have to move at a pace, unless you've taken a bank loan out and you have a big chunk of cash to spend. It's about pace. I don't want to store a whole bunch of inventory that's not listed, and I want to go at the pace that I'm able to list at, and so there is cash flow coming in, and that's meeting the costs, and so going at a good pace to increase my inventory. There's a tendency to want to go sourcing more, but right now, with the workers I have and my ability to list above other business things that I'm working on, I'm not able to support sourcing more right now. And so I want to invest my time more on garage sales because that's where I'm seeing the higher profit items come in, and so that's something to consider in working an eBay business and starting up, is about what pace can I work at, what pace can I source at, what pace can I list at, and to adjust your work accordingly. One more thought before I end this podcast or this video cast is that I really need to focus on taking care of myself. I'm working a lot. I'm getting up at 5 or 6 o'clock a.m. depending on when I get up in the morning, and starting my routines and going out and sourcing. And I stop working about 7 or 8, maybe even later sometimes. Last night it was past 10 o'clock when I was done working. And so I'm working long hours, and in doing so and running a business, we have to take care of ourselves. I'm noticing that I need to eat more vegetables, more fruit. I was eating really a lot healthier in Canada, and so I got to take care of myself and what I'm eating, making sure I'm drinking lots of water. I recently got a membership to the YMCA around here, so I need to go work out and take care of myself physically. And then doing some things that really fulfill. I'm an amateur French horn player, and one of my goals was to continue playing. As I played my horn and as a part of a band in Canada, and tonight I have an audition in a nearby town for a little local symphony, and so I want to do that. That's part of the freedom that eBay brings, or having your own business brings, is to be able to do the things that you like doing, that kind of fulfill your heart a little bit. And so one of my goals was to continue playing my horn. I love doing it. And so I would challenge those listening to make sure that you're doing things to fulfill your passions, to fulfill your heart. I'm part of a church here. I just joined a local church after moving from Canada, and that's fulfillment for me too. And so serving the church. This weekend's Easter, and so I want to be a part of my church community, and so some of the other passions of mine is I play racquetball, and so I've sent emails to join a racquetball league, and so that will help me keep myself up physically. And then another one is just to hang out with fun people. I think that's an area I need to grow on while I'm here. Is I need to get out and meet people. I need to be around other men, other people that are just fun to hang out with. And because I love being around people. And if I'm continuing to work all day, then I'm not going to have time to do those things. And so bringing a little bit more balance to my life and my eBay business. And I guess that's part of starting an eBay business, is trying to find that balance. Right now to start, working a lot of hours. Hopefully, when I get to 500, and as I said previously, once I get to 500 listings, I hope to take a little bit of a break. But right now, it's about growing, learning experiences. I hope through your business that you're gaining experience and learning what to do, learning what not to do, learning what fulfills you, and it's all a growth process, and it's part of the process. It's part of my journey, part of my story. And so thanks for listening to my story. Thanks for listening to my eBay journey as I try to start up this business and get it going. And so please feel free to comment, give me feedback. I'm on Instagram. My business name is Dacasaurus, D-A-C-A Source. And I have dacasaurus@gmail.com if you want to throw me an email. I appreciate your feedback and comments. And so please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.